Yeah.
Yeah, Sirski. What I was finna say, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
What's
flip
up?
your
What's
joints, man.
going
So,
on? What's going on?
yeah, so they can
Live,
see
we
them.
here, let's go.
That's what I'm talking about, my boy. So, it is episode 22 of Fusion Radio Uncut, my boy. So, we gotta do it big, man. We gotta do it special, man. So, who do we have live in the building today, man? We got Now, a person that's familiar with Fusion Radio, but he ain't never been on Fusion Radio Uncut, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a pleasure, man. So who am I talking about? I'm talking about my boy Javier, man. So how you doing, my brother? How you feeling today?
Doing great. I'm very happy to be here. Of course, I'm coming in here. First off, I got a shout out, rest in power. Not rest in peace, but also rest in power, to Brian Stinson, and,
Yes, sir.
and I'm just very honored, here. And I've been seeing what you've been doing out here, and I know that you're making them proud. So just want to say congratulations to you. And I see that you out here, you're making your moves. I know that you're moving exactly how he would want you to, moving forward and moving strong, and you carrying it forward. So I want to say I'm proud of you definitely for that, and I'm very honored and happy to be here. And I just want to have a good time.
That's what I'm talking about, my boy. I definitely appreciate you, man. So like I do with all my guests that come on here, you know what I'm saying? I definitely want to thank you for just reaching out, first of all, you feel me? Because like I always try to tell my guests, like, yeah, y'all on my platform, but without amazing people like you doing your thing when it comes to making music, I wouldn't have no platform, you know what I'm saying? So definitely thanks for reaching out, trying to set up this interview and stuff like that. And we finna get into it, man. We finna get into it. So I kind of know you a little bit because we already did an interview together when
Mm.
you got a chance to come out to the city and stuff like that and sit down with me and bro. You know what I'm saying? But I want to go back a little bit for the people that probably never seen you before, never heard about you, never heard none of your music and stuff like that. So just tell them a little bit about like where you come from, how you was raised, and then like talk to us a little bit about how you eventually end up getting into music.
So what's good, y'all? I am Javier Gooden. I'm 18 years old. This year I'll be turning 19 in July. And I'm from Brooklyn, New York, Eastern Parkway, Crown Heights on Utica. That's my home. That's what I call home. And for me, how I got started was actually at 4 years old. I got started at 4, and I got started with acting first. So for me, I was more so doing like Black History events. So I was doing like monologues that my mom would write for me because she's an excellent writer. And for me, I was doing like people like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, and I would do them every like let's say every year, definitely every year. And I was doing them every February, every January, especially in churches because that's where I grew up. That's where I started at, in the church. That's where my acting came into play. I wouldn't say I didn't really start singing until maybe about 8 or 9. At least for me, as far as I can remember, I didn't really start singing until 8 or 9. And I remember I started off with Michael Jackson because Michael Jackson was my man back in the day. So I was over there singing all of his songs. I'm sure we all can relate. But my mom, she had heard me. She was like, okay, you can sing. So we're going to take that. And she's going to try to shape it. So she tried to shape me. And she did. So over the years, I was doing more so cover songs and singing those type of events. And also doing more events outside of Black History Month, doing Juneteenth events and things of that nature and performing in New York and starting to try and perform in Philadelphia. But for me, I know that definitely even through that while I was singing other people's songs, I was to get into songwriting around like 11 years old. That's when I started into writing music for myself. Now, me looking back at it, it was bad. It was bad, but either way, that was still my start though, and that was important. We all had to start somewhere. So eventually, as I kept
Yeah.
on writing and I kept on getting better, and I was joining different programs like Mama Foundation or Sing Harlem, that's in Harlem, New York. And then I was joining even acting classes, like Jimmy Hector's Moving Mountains, his program that was in Brooklyn. I know that I was writing throughout the time, and it wasn't until I got to Moving Mountains where a former friend of mine, she introduced me to a platform called BandLab. And BandLab, I know that's really popular today, but it was starting trying to get popping around like 2019. I know that that's when I had really started actually recording music. So anytime that I was in New York, I would go into, because I was in my grandma's house at the time when we lived on Utica. I used to go into my sister's room and she wasn't there, and I used to just use that as like my mini studio, and I just recorded on my phone. And eventually, as I kept on going with it over the years, I started to get better. And then I introduced my mom to it because I kept on showing my mom my songs. And then, my dad be on my record label, Funk Nation Recording. Shout out to Dirty Fingers, my dad. Um, my mom was like, yo, you need to look at your son. Like the talent that he got is amazing. Because my dad always knew that I was talented and he always supported me. But it's just like what we're doing now, that didn't really start happening, I say, until 2020 because my mom was like, yo, look at your son. Look at the music that he's making. He's really coming with it. So that's when he started listening to my music. He was like, all right, this is something that you seriously want and you serious about this, you got to know that it's going to be work. I'm willing to put in the work. So we kept on moving forward from there. And it wasn't until about 2021 that we really started releasing like my actual music. And we started off with Young Kings to a Crown, Volume 1. And that was the beginning. And that's just really where it took off. And now I'm just maintaining myself, honing in on my craft, making sure that I get better, making my music. And I'm very proud of what I'm doing. And I'm excited for the things that are coming up next.
For sure, my boy. For sure. So, talk to me a little bit about like having your family invested in what you actually doing though, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel
Mm,
like that's amazing in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't like when I started my career, I didn't have that support system, you know what I'm saying? Like I
mm,
didn't have my mother and my father right there with me, going down the path with me, trying to help me figure this out. I had to figure it out by myself. But in some type of way, you had your parents there with you, you know what I'm saying? So
mm.
just talk to me a little bit about like the benefits of having your parents understand your passion and understand what you're trying to do in this life. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, it's a blessing. Like that's the biggest way that I could describe it is that it's a blessing because not a whole lot of people have parents that are willing to support their dreams. It's either you get a job or you out. That's it. And then some people we've even seen cases where it'd be like they have their parents, but their parents try to take advantage of them. And that's the even sad part of it because it's like I want you to believe in my dream and you're taking advantage of me. I have two parents in my life, which I'm fortunate enough and blessed enough to be able to say. I have two parents in my life who both equally support my dreams and want to see me succeed. And are not going to allow me to slack off because they want to see me succeed and I want to succeed for myself. So they're always there for me and they're always pushing me to want to do greater. I want to do greater for myself. And I'm just honored to be able to say that I have parents that I love and that support me and want to see me win. Because that's hard to come out these days is having people that want to see you win, even in your own household. So I'm very blessed and I'm very fortunate.
Man, you said you said a mouthful, but you said some real shit though. You know what I'm saying? So like, damn, bro, that's amazing to me though. Like for real. Cause it's like, yeah, it's the fact that you have your parents right there with you, but it's the fact that they actually support exactly what you're trying to do. It's not like them trying to push you into doing something else or, oh
Mm,
no, forget the music. You need to focus on being a doctor or being this or
yeah.
being that. You know what I'm saying? They understand that this is what you want to do. They understand the work that you done put in. They understand the drive that you have behind it and they got behind it though. You know what I'm saying? They didn't try to steer you off into something else. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate them for that, and I rock with that a lot. You know what I'm saying? So so dang, they kind of my people threw me off for a
Yeah,
second.
you good. You
Well,
good. You good.
so tell me a little bit about like certain things that's been going on since the last time we chopped it up. You feel me? Because the last time we chopped it up, you came all the way to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? From New
Hmm.
York. You know what I'm saying? To do a show and do a couple of other things and stuff like that. So just tell me a little bit about like different things that you've been up to since the last time we chopped it up.
Well, one major thing is I went to college. So I attend Delaware State University. That's why I'm on. And I'm a music industry major. And then the reason why I chose music industry is because that's the industry that I want to be a part of. We hear about a lot of things that go on about sometimes how artists don't understand the things that are happening in the industry and the business aspect of it. And that's how they get taken advantage of. Now, fortunately, I have my dad as my record label, and he never takes advantage of me. He's always teaching me, if anything, about the music industry and about the things that happens in it. But he's like, listen, I want you to go to college. I want you to get that education, and I want you to learn about the industry that you are in. I want you to learn for yourself. So that's why I chose music industry. And it's honestly been such an amazing experience. I've made a lot of people, a lot of connections, a lot of friends in Dover. And I've had a great amount of performances and Delaware State University. Shout out to the Hive, Sagacity Sound. That was an amazing event because the first time I came as the one of the performers, and then the next time this year they actually wanted me to be the featured performer, and I had a 20-minute set, and it was amazing. Had a great time. I performed the different parts of Delaware State University, and also I've been holding in on making more and more music, and also releasing more projects. Because the last time I saw you, I believe we dropped Almost Went to College Volume 2, which we dropped, and that was on YouTube. That's on Funk Nation TV. That's on SoundCloud. Listen, it was an amazing time. I had a fun time performing that music, performing those songs, because I was like, I was super happy for people to see that, especially in my college, to the point where people on campus know my name now. That's the biggest thing I wanted to do. Is that when I got on campus, I wanted people to know my name, and I was able to do that with that project, to be able to spread that around. So that definitely was important to me. And now with this year we've been working, and we've been working hard, especially in terms of making new music and new material for the album that's going to be coming out later on this year, hopefully in July, but also for the project that we just released, Young Kings Wear Crowns Volume 2, which is out on Crowded Streaming. Shout out to Crowded Streaming. Also out on Funk Nation TV. Listen, we're doing a lot of things, man. And I'm just gotta say I'm very blessed. Not even honored, just blessed to be able to say that God has more opportunities for me and that He keeps me working.
That's what's up, my boy. That's what's up. Definitely, that's what's up. So I know when your pops reached out to me and stuff like that, and he wanted to set up this interview, I know a big
Mhm.
thing that you really wanted to talk about is something that you already been highlighting a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I
Mhm.
really want to digest this and break it down. This new project that you just dropped. You know what I'm saying? You've been talking
Yeah.
about it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of the real reason your pops reached out to me and wanted to set up the interview. So like, let's break down this whole volume two. You know what I'm saying? So first, I want you to basically explain to me like, what's the difference between volume one and volume two? Like what, like, cause it's in the same
Hmm.
project field, but it's
Hmm.
a different version. You know what I'm saying? So like, tell me a little bit about like the difference from volume one to volume two. Like, what's the message behind volume two?
Well, volume one, the message for that was basically the introduction to show you like who I am, especially since I've never released anything officially prior beforehand. So that was the introduction to show like this is who Javier Gooden is. This is who he's coming out with. And for volume two, that's to show you that this is what it is. You know, this is a basically a compilation album of all the things that I've released over the past two years, on my way to college one, on my way to college two, because a lot of those were tracks that I did over other people's beats that I decided to personalize for myself. And then of course we had the amazing producer like Better the Producer, Rest in Power. We had Steve O tracks, shout out to Steve O tracks. And that was really a compilation album to show my progress. Because if you listen to it, you'll see that at the start of it, you'll see how young I sounded from around 15, 16. Then, as soon as you start progressing more and more, you see the journey of how I've been progressing and how I've been aging and how I've become more mature in my songs. And then to the end of the project, you got the man voice, the deep voice that you got that you hear me now. So I really want people to grow with that project and not just to see it as just, oh, it's just songs that we heard already, but to really feel like it's something that you can grow with, that you can see my progression, you can see how I'm coming. And then later on this year for the official album that we really want to release, you're going to see, okay, this is how we moving on. This is how we coming with. So I'm excited for this project and I really want people to listen to it. I want you to see the story that comes with it.
You know what's so crazy? I knew I wasn't tweaking when you first got on here and started talking. I'm like, this nigga voice deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew I wasn't tweaking. I'm like, it ain't like, cause it ain't a real big change in how deep your voice got. But I'm like, damn, I don't remember this nigga voice being.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell no, that shit funny as hell, man. But with that being said, man, you sent me two songs. You know what I'm saying? You sent me two
Hmm.
songs, and from my understanding, these two songs come from out this new tape. You know what I'm saying? So the first song that you sent me is called "Mic Check," and then the second song is called "Put 'Em Up." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So out of those two songs, which song you want to play on Fusion Radio Uncut first?
Let's go ahead and play Put 'em Up first. Let's play Put 'em Up first. Let's start off with the energy, with the vibes. Let's start off with that.
Cool, 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 cool. So you say "Put 'Em Up" first. So just talk to me a little bit about like "Put 'Em Up." Like, what was the studio session like when you put this together, and then like what was the whole vibe and the whole understanding of this track?
So what's crazy with that track is most of the music that I record on my phone on BandLab. I've just with over the years with the knowledge that I've gained been able to perfect how I make my sound and also learning from the producers that are around me how to make my sound crisp and clear. But for me, with that song, I remember again, shout out to Steve O Tracks, shout out to Steve O Tracks, the producer, the person that made that beat. I remember he gave that to me and then I started to try and record to it, but I only had like one bar, and I couldn't figure out exactly what I wanted to do with that track. So I let it rest for like a month, and I just remember I forget exactly how it happened, but it was a conversation I was having with my parents because we was having fun. But then we were also talking about our lineage because my father's side of the family is from Panama, and my mother's side of the family is from Barbados. So I got that Jamaican, I got that Bayesian lineage, those roots within me. And I remember she was telling me about how I really need to start tapping into those roots a little bit more. And we was joking around about it, but me, I realized something in my head was like, you know what? I should do that. And I should put that in my music because I want to not only represent my Hispanic side because I have a couple unreleased songs where I was in Spanish, speaking in Spanish, but I need to start representing my mother's side of the family more. So I decided to put that in the song. So if you hear it at first, it starts with just me talking my stuff, bigging myself up. But then from the chorus to the rest of the song, that's me fully embracing that heritage in me, that Bayesian lineage, those roots. Now I want to fully express that in the song and also make it a fun song. Because when I was recording that song, I could hear myself just like on Eastern Parkway on Utica Avenue on our block. We got the lady coming down selling the ices, the cocoa ices for like $2 or $3. I'm over here in front of my grandma's place back before we used to live there, playing with my friend Jam outside the parking lot when they was over here cooking the food. When you got the elders, the OGs playing dominoes. Like I was envisioning that while I was making that song. I was like, when I was done and I heard it back, I thought, yeah, I really captured what I really wanted. And I was able to put that in this type of a beat and a fun song. So I hope that other people enjoy it and they feel that when I'm coming through as well.
For sure, man. So what we finna get ready to listen to this that Put 'Em Up by Javier Gooden. So let me know, man. Let me know how you coming in the chat, man. Drop some fire emojis or something. Let me know how my boy coming, man.
Let's make a little history birth. My only opponent is him, no slave from birth. I try to be in the press up by myself first. I try to be in the press up by myself first. And if I'm wild, it's a slow ride. Check on my phone if you defend me for right. Copy and paste the only way they offer bar. Sorry for your loss, your boss, the plan line up. You wonder why I'm a no candy, two standing, need to switch up the process. I ain't going to complex, I can't bother with. I jump on the track, it's not hard. Put 'em up, put 'em up. It's a good boy, can you give me cat touch? We going to the top, tell me what you gon' rock. It's how we just gon' leave you behind. Put 'em up, put 'em up. It's a good boy, can you give me cat touch? We going to the top, tell me what you gon' rock. It's how we just gon' leave you behind. People stand up. Barbados to Jamaica. Put your damn finger up in the air. I can represent a better way we at it. People stand up. Barbados to Jamaica. In the air. No matter how far. Put 'em up. It's a good boy, give them the cat touch. We do it to the top, tell me what you gon' buy. If now we just gon' leave you behind. Put 'em up, put 'em up. It's a black cap, give them the cat touch. We do it to the top, tell me what you gon' buy. If now we just gon' leave you behind. Island people stand up. Barbados to Jamaica. Put that damn finger up in the air. I feel like there's no better way to get it. People stand up. Barbados to Jamaica. In the air. No matter what. tell me if you gon' ride. If no, it just gon' leave you behind. Oh, but it's not for the mind. It's a blackout, baby, you can't talk. Keeping you with detail, tell me if you gon' ride. If no, it just gon' leave you behind.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie though. Like with you having such a thick New York accent, then you like you feel me, you mix with different things, you got a strong ass accent, like strong ass accent, like for real,
Yeah.
like it was like, don't get me wrong, I was definitely vibing out and I kind of understood what you were saying, but it was like certain parts I couldn't really understand just because I had thick your accent is, but like I got it from the parts that I could understood. I
Mm-hmm.
get exactly like basically exactly what you explained in the beginning before we actually listened to the song. I got that from that though, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
I
I
ain't gonna lie though.
appreciate that.
That's definitely different though. It's definitely different. You know what I'm saying? And like that's why like doing this show. That's why I kind of like doing this show a lot though, because it'd be like it give me an opportunity to bump heads with all different types of walks of life and all different type of people that make music. You know what I'm saying? Because like clearly you don't make no kind of music like people in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different vibe, whole different way type shit. And I like that though. I don't really like listening to the same type of music all the time. Like sometimes I need to switch it up, hit something different. You know what I'm saying? Get a different
Right.
type of vibe. So I'm definitely fucking with that. Put them up, man. That shit was decent. So
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
so like with this tape, you know what I'm saying? With this project. Talk to me a little bit about like what are certain things that you're trying to do to help promote this project. You know what I'm saying? Because from when I got a chance to listen to it, you know what I'm saying, you got a lot of fucking songs on it. You know what I'm saying? So like what's the plan though? Is it just we just drop a compilation tape, just put something out there, you know what I'm saying? Or was it more like we drop all these songs, but we got a plan though when we drop all these songs? Like what was the whole plan behind it?
No, definitely is a plan. This is something that, I definitely want to be performing, especially during the summer, especially before school starts. I want to be performing these songs to get them out there. Because if you ever heard the story between Lizzo, that famous song that blew up on TikTok, that was something that she wrote years ago. And the thing
Mm,
behind that is it's like no matter how old that you think a song is, it's still new to someone else who's never heard it before. And that blew up and now she is to how she is now. And I had to learn that. So even though these are songs that we put out already with this compilation album, the whole point is that, like I said, I want you to hear a story, and I want you to know the real me of who I am and how I progress. And with that, I want to present that. I want to perform that in different events, different avenues, just so I can show that this is who I am. This how I'm coming. I want people to be exposed more to these great songs because I didn't write these just, just to have them laying around. I want people to experience them. So that's why I'm definitely going to be performing these out throughout the summer and just hopefully doing what I can to just spread it out, make sure that more people get to listen to it and get to listen to the story that I'm trying to present to them.
for sure. For sure. So when you say performing though, like, is it so much just straight New York, or like, is it plans to gravitate to other cities and other places and stuff
Definitely,
like that? Performing it?
definitely want to try and get to other cities. I want my music to be everywhere, everywhere. I want this experience to be everyone to be able to enjoy. So definitely, I'm trying to do especially what I can to try and get into different cities, different states. That way, more and more people can hear my music.
And it's crazy because I've been sitting here trying to think, bro. Like, I'm trying to think about how long ago was it that we did our last interview? Because it
It
don't
was
seem
last
like it
year.
was that long ago, but at the same time, it don't seem like it just happened either, though. But I can't pinpoint off the top of my head how long ago it was, though.
It was last year. It was last year. It was during the summertime. I forget what month. I think it was either July or August, but it was last year.
Mm. Yeah, bro. It's like,
Yeah. That's
like
what
I
happens when you
be
stay busy. You got a lot of things going on, but we always are asking for that. We want things to be happening. So
no
to be able to
for
say
real.
you don't even know when it happened, that's just to show how busy that we've been, and that's a good thing.
I swear to God, because it was to the point where I went to an event the other day, and I went the other day. It was like probably like a couple weeks ago and shit like that, probably like a month ago. and somebody else that I had interviewed before was there, and I knew him like I knew his face, like I knew exactly who he was, but I couldn't think his name though. Like you know how you know somebody, but you like, damn, I can't think of this nigga name, man. What the fuck is this
Yeah,
nigga name?
yeah, yeah,
Like, and that's how it felt in that moment. I'm like, damn, I know this man, but I don't know this man's name. Cause it'd
oh,
be
we
like,
met.
bro, even though
Mhm.
I've only been a part of Fusion Radio since 2022, yeah, 2022, it's like, Brian got a chance to shake so many different hands and meet so many different people. It'd be like, sometimes it'd be like, I ain't gonna say I'd be forgetting people, but it'd be like, sometimes it'd be like, damn. Cause it'd be like, it'd be those people like that you ain't probably seen in a minute or you probably
Mhm.
ain't interviewed in a long time. Like it'd be like, damn, I did interview them. Cause it's like lately I've been really coming outside and really understanding like in order to build Fusion Radio up to a higher level in order to build myself up as an artist in my city, like at a higher level, I have to come outside in some type of way. Like I have to shake hands, I have to meet people.
Mhm.
Like, cause don't get me wrong, the social media thing is cool, you know what I'm saying? But it's like in some type of way you have to be approachable. You have to be able people have to be able to see you, especially at this level that we at, still trying to get this thing out the ground. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. So it's like, don't get me wrong,
I,
if you could blow up off internet, you know what I'm saying, do your thing, but you still gotta get out here in some type of way. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like people gotta be able to touch you and be able to meet you. Like it's the same thing with you out there in New York. Like you got to get out there, like move around, meet people and stuff like that. Network, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
yeah.
I definitely get that, man. So like,
Actually, we met last year in April. Maximum Management telling me we met last year in April. See, that's how long it's been. That's how
that's
long it's been.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't. Damn, man, April. So wait,
Yeah.
so when you met me, was my arm messed up when you met me, or no? My arm wasn't messed up. My like
I
my
don't
arm.
believe so. No, I don't think so.
So damn. So that mean okay. So that mean I must have did the interview with you just before I messed up my wrist. You know what I'm saying? I got
Mm,
into my car accident. That's probably true. Cause I don't think my arm was messed up when I met you. You know what I'm saying? When
mm.
you and your family came out. I don't think that was.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, cause I only brought that up, bro, cause I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, like I said, like it just seemed like you. I ain't gonna say you just grew up out of nowhere, but it's like it don't seem like that much time went by. But you know,
Right.
people things change every day though.
Mm,
Things change every day. People get older every day. You know what I'm saying? Mature every day. Learn different things every day. So you know what I'm saying? If you say April, it's basically been a year and some change. You know what I'm saying? So that makes sense though.
for
That
sure.
makes sense. So like what's the real goal though? You know what I'm saying with this music though, like, and what I mean by the real goal, like, are you trying to be the greatest artist ever, or are you trying to just get your family out the hood? Is it like you just want to make a couple dollars? Like, what is the real goal for Javier when it comes to music though? Like, what's the end goal, or have you even thought about an end goal yet?
Tis of an end goal. I'll just I would definitely say that my goal as an artist, for me as a person, when I realized that music is something that I really want to do, is to bring not only creativity but just originality back in young artists. Because I could definitely say that now we've just been more so of a copy and paste type of generation. So you got Drake, you got Juice World, and then now everyone was sound like them, and no one really has a sense of originality and creativity, you know. And I could definitely say that because even once I was a part of that trend, when I first got started out in music, I didn't know how to find my own voice yet, so I just followed everyone else and just did what they did. But then when I started listening to artists like Kendrick and Cole and Lodging, when they came to music, going all the way back to listen to Faith Evans, to Mary J. Blige, even into the news to listen to her, people like that, just I realized that I don't want to be a part of the trend and just copy and paste and just do what everyone else does. I want to be someone that could say that when you listen to me, you don't hear anyone else. Or you might hear hints of where I was inspired from, and you realize that this is Javier Gooden. This isn't Travis Scott. This is Kendrick Lamar. This is Javier Gooden. That's who he is. And that's what my goal is, to let artists know, young artists know that you can be dope and you can still be fly, but you can be yourself and represent where you come from and maintain that sense of originality. While I'm doing that, do what I can to give back to my parents because they're sewing into me. So it's only right that I do what I can, and also keeping that in mind just to help do what I can to sew back into them and to repay them for everything that they've done for me and that they continue to do for me.
For sure, my boy. Shout out to everybody that's tapping in with us, man. Shout out my boy Dino, man. He chopping up with us, man. Shout out to everybody that's been on the live, tuned in with us from the beginning. You get what I'm saying? Who do we have live in the building? My boy Javier Gooden. You get what I'm saying? The artist from New York. Tapped in with me a long time ago, you feel me? Last year with my boy Brian, he came out to the city and did an interview with us, and him and his father still been tapped in with me. You feel me? Seeing what I got going on, so we set up this interview to talk about latest his latest release, you know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of thirsty to hear another song, man, from out the tape. So this last song that we got from you is called Mic Check, you know what I'm saying? So before we
Sure.
actually play Mic Check, you know what I'm saying? Just tell me a little bit about like what was the message behind Mic Check and like what was the vibe and stuff like that. Like matter of fact, tell me a little bit about the studio session when you put this song together though.
Well, shout out to Better, the producer who made the track. He passed away, but definitely shout out to him. Rest in power. But when it came to how I made this track, what's funny is I actually didn't know what to do with this track at first because my dad originally we was on a trip to Baltimore and we was coming back from DC, going back to our cousin's house, and I remember that he had played this track for me, and at first I didn't know what to do with it, and we just kept on listening on the way back, and then after a while I was like, okay, hold on. Did I replay that? And then as soon as I did, I got on my phone. I started writing. I was like, okay, replay that again. Replay that again. And then we just kept on going from there. And he was helping me with the flow. And then eventually I presented it to him. So then he started listening to. He was like, yeah, because we constructed the chorus, then the first verse, then afterwards we was going from there. It wasn't until we had got back to our destination I wrote the second verse, and then I started experimenting with different flows and different personas during the song. And then afterwards, when I finally got home, that's when I recorded it because I was antsy. That's when I recorded it. And when I first presented it to my dad, he was like, "Okay, this was great." But Better the producer, he had a vision. He was like, along with my dad telling me, "All right, you need to start putting some inflections on this. It can't be, linear. You got to make sure that if you coming with that energy, you want to make sure that you rap it as if you're performing it. Wanted to spice it up a little bit. So that's what I did. And when I was finally able to get that right after, I think maybe a couple of days of recording it, we got the song Mic Check. And definitely got to say, rest in power to Better the producer. And I'm so happy that now we finally here to be able to play that song.
For sure, man. So we finna go ahead and get into it, man. We finna go ahead and get into it. So what is this that we finna listen to? This that Mic Check by Javier Good. Y'all let me know how my boy coming, man. Drop some fire emojis or something in the chat. Let my boy know how he coming, man.
Mic check, turn me all the way up. Mic talk tonight, finally got in the dust. But I'm just better, please don't make a fuss. If you better than me, I'll look at you like that. Mic check, turn me all the way up. Mic check tonight, finally got in the dust. But I'm just better, please don't make a fuss. I'm talk tonight, dance, can I keep up? It's my iron strap, I'm on a piece of put. Promise to my team, none can never escape the energy of AC, baby. Who goes through ever beginning up and rolling since they under greatest uncomfortable kitchen walk. Had to go and take a breather for a minute. Y'all been getting on my nerves, tell me so hop up again. Ice running to my veins, but my bar so cold. Flow zone, everybody know how we coming through. I-95, me are gonna win up on them all. I'm strong, much like I connected everywhere I go. Like, whoa, it's the rap that you do not wanna go. That I've been testing way too many times, now I'm about to destroy them. The mother should never be holiday. I hooligans, I bully them. Let them know that my flow is too immaculate. I'm running to the stories and destroying them. Nobody gonna remember them. I hit this shit like 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, turn me all the way up. Mic talk tonight, finally got in the dust. But I'm just better, please don't make a fuss. If you better than me, I'll look at you like that. Mic check, turn me all the way up. Mic check tonight, finally got in the dust. But I'm just better, please don't make a fuss. I'm so tonight, dance, can I keep up? I'm outside on Fifth Avenue with the double R. Ice so thin with the Cartier to top it off. Caviar, a lobster, all of it just because. Make a real dreams, but better change, can I some more? That's a dream. Now here's the real, I'm in the field. Legendary is my division. Everything of reality, this no longer a vision. And advocate for real MCs in my profession. Break it down, I'm a big stage stepper with a big flavor. I'm the embodiment of the greatest, you say you claim it. Man, I'm a big stage stepper, stepping baby. I'm the embodiment of the rappers, the influence. A to the A to the B to the I to the E to the R to double O D E and O no E. Cause I'm about to get eliminated. Everything come my way. I'm in the fuck gonna get my way. Trying to tell them I'm about to get in the fuck to get everything. Mic check, turn me all the way up. Mic nice, better leave all in the dust. I'm just better please don't make a fuss. If you really kidding me, I'll look at you like that. Mic check, turn me all the way up. Mic check, nice, better leave y'all in the dust. I'm just better please don't make a fuss. Can I get it up? Said I'm a big space rapper, fucking big brain rapper, Said I'm a big space rapper, fucking big brain rapper, Said I'm a big space rapper, fucking big brain rapper, Said I'm a big space rapper, fucking big brain rapper.
Yeah.
Hell no, man. That shit be crazy as hell, bro. I get a chance to sit down, chop it up with y'all amazing artists, bro. It's like, I don't know, bro. Sometimes when I be sitting on this show, bro, and I be listening to y'all music, I kind of get caught up in the moment a little bit because it be like, damn that, bro. When I was your age, bro, I'd have never thought I'd be doing this shit, bro. Like, on some real shit. Because you said you 18 finna turn 19, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I was 18, I was on a whole different type of time type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to now finna, to now be 24, finna be 25 in August, it's like, it kind of put certain things in perspective. Like, damn, it be like, man. Especially like, when I think about situations like how I went to go see Brian early and shit like that, I visited bro gravesite and shit like that. It just be having me thinking like, damn, me and this nigga, I like it put me on a whole nother path. Just by meeting one person and locking in with one person changed my whole trajectory of my life, basically. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking about that sometimes. I'm like, damn, like that shit is crazy. But it's kind of one of those situations where like you look at it like God don't do nothing for no reason. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because like everything kind of turned out the way I guess it was supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even though like certain things down the path was fucked up and kind of messed up that it happened the way it happened, but it was like when you think about where we at now, like I'd have never met you. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You never know where this relationship might take me in the future. Not saying like I'm only in it for the relationships or what somebody could do for me, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just basically saying like, shit, we are who we are now, but you never know who Javier Good might be in 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I might need to come to you for a job, or I might need to come to you for an opportunity, all type. Like, you never know what might happen, or it might be vice versa. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mm.
just basically saying, like, you never know where somebody might end up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just getting a chance to chop it up with you and build that relationship and have that rapport with a person, you know what I'm saying? It just had me like, damn, folks put me up on game. He put me in position type shit. So I'm forever thankful for that. And you know what I'm saying? I'm forever thankful
Absolutely.
for that man. Cause it's like this nigga put me in position, man. This man put me in position,
Absolutely.
man. So
Absolutely, man.
RP Mr. Fusion Radio, man. So
Mr. Powers.
I just got a couple more questions, man, before I let you get up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? We already done talked about so many good, amazing things, you know what I'm saying? But I just got a couple more, man. So like I like to ask this question time to time
Mm.
because me being an artist myself, I kind of think about this too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying like I'll be really focused on it, but I had this in the back of my head a couple of times just on some just being realistic with myself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's a million artists out here, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of good artists, a lot of great artists. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can't make it though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody can't be that guy. Everybody can't be that girl. Everybody can't break the charts and have that hit song. And you feel me? Everybody can't do that. It's just that's just how the game go. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I'm not necessarily saying that's gonna be for you. I'm just saying like my question basically is like if you don't ever get to a certain point with your music, what then? You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily saying like, are you gonna just give up music, but like, what would be your mindset if you don't get to a certain level type shit when it comes to music?
To be honest, I don't even think that way. I couldn't even have a clear answer for you because I know that God put me on this earth for music. I am training to be, no, I'm going to be one of the greatest performing artists in the game when it comes to soulful R&B and being a dope lyricist when it comes to hip hop and rap. So to think that there would be a plan B, plan A is plan B and plan C. Like music is something that I want to do, and anything in the industry, that's what I'm focused on. That's my life right there.
Spoken like a true artist. I like that. You know what I'm saying? It was either two answers I was really looking for that I wanted to hear. It was either gonna be what you said exactly,
Mm,
or on some like, even if you don't make it to a certain level as an artist, you still want to be around music in some way, shape,
mhm,
or form. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, some people, like, they might not make it as an artist, but they might be a good manager, or they might be a good producer or engineer, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
I wanted either one of those type of answers. I didn't want you to give me one of those weak ass answers like, well, I'm gonna go back to college and try to give me a GED, or try to
mm.
give me another career, some lame ass shit like I ain't want no answer like that. I ain't want you to sell yourself short like that, cause
Yeah.
like, but at the same time though, I did want to put that on your brain though, just on some, you know what I'm saying? Cause like I said, we all can't make it. We all not gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I might not make it. You know what I'm saying? Even though I got the same mindset like you, but it's a possibility I might not make it. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Mm,
possibility I might not never make it out of Chicago when it comes to making music. But at the same time, I'm just like you. I don't even think like that. Plan A is plan B and
mhm.
C. You know what I'm saying? Like some way, somehow, this shit gonna shake. Even if it's not in Chicago, even if I gotta go somewhere, this shit gonna shake some way,
Yeah.
somehow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Got to stay hungry and determined.
got to, got to. And then sometimes people like artists gotta understand too though, like timing is real big in our field. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like timing is everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you could be making music for 10 years and you might think after that 10th year, if you ain't get a certain type of buzz, you might think it's time to hang it up. But in that 11th
Ah.
year, your ass would have made it, but you gave up at 10 type shit. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, and then even like with your music though, like certain tracks, it's not that certain tracks is garbage. It's just certain tracks ain't made for that specific time. You know what I'm saying? Like how you just did a whole compilation album and you got a lot of songs that's old songs that you made years ago, but you put them out now. It probably went that way because in that specific moment, those songs probably weren't ready for the world, or the world wasn't ready for those songs. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
now that you're in a position that you're in now and you're able to put them out a certain type of way, now the world might be ready for them. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that's just certain things just to keep in mind. You know what I'm saying? Certain things just to keep in your head. You know what I'm saying? So my last question, bro. I'm gonna make this my last question, bro. I'm gonna make this my last question. Outside of what we already know what you're trying to do, as far as
Hmm.
like you just put this tape out, you definitely want to go on a promo run with that and keep pushing those songs and stuff like that. What's certain other things outside of music though that you have in store that we should be looking out for, like, and be on alert for? You know what I'm saying? In these next couple of months.
Well, in these next couple months, I could definitely say, for me, I definitely want to go back to my brand, which is not only YKWC Young Case with Crowns, but my original brand that I'm also trying to come up with, which is JRG. Those are the initials of my name, JRG. And I've been working on that before I went to college, and I had a plan for it now, definitely this year, especially this summer. I definitely want to try and get that under control, finalize different types of designs, and hopefully be able to put that out on our website, JavierGooden.com, which I'm definitely excited for. And also,
Hey, that shit
photography.
crazy. Not to cut you off, my bad. As soon as you said Javier,
Yeah.
the fuck, your pop. I don't know if this your pops or whoever running the page right
Mhm.
now, but that shit popped up as soon as you. That's
Yeah.
funny as hell though. It's like as soon as you got it out, the shit popped up in the comments though. That's what's up though. But go ahead and
Yes,
finish your spiel though, talking about your brand.
yeah, that's my brand. It's something that I've been working on for a long time that I started thinking about before I went to college. And now that I'm done with my first year of college and I see what that's like, I got my experience and I know what I want to do. Now I can get back to developing my merchandise and introducing myself as a brand. Getting that out there for the world to have, for the world to be able to keep. And also definitely getting back to my acting. because I definitely know that a lot of things have been going on in the acting industry, but I'm definitely getting back to that. I want to start getting back to that this year, looking for different roles that I can do. And also photography, something I actually got into years ago, but I was finally shout out to D-Rod Productions. He gifted me a Canon, um, and I was finally able to really get into photography and things I want to do with that, to the point where even people wanted to pay me to take pictures for them. So definitely want to start developing that, getting my skills better, because right now we're in the process where we got to do things ourselves, because not all the time we'll be able to afford to have someone else, do things for us. So me honing my craft and my skills to be talented in different areas, I'm able to say that I'm able to do things for myself. So that's something I'm definitely able to work on for this year. So that's things that outside of music that I'm working on.
That's what I'm talking about, my boy. I love the fact that you real conscious of what you want to do with your life. Because when I was at 18, bro, I ain't know, bro. Like I ain't know at all. Like it didn't get like I didn't figure out what I wanted to do with my life for real, bro, until I went to college. And it got to the point where it was like, okay, it was either basketball or it was music. But I'm like, kept it 100 with myself. It wasn't like I was garbage at basketball. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't Michael Jordan either, though. I ain't finna just say and cap you down. Like, yeah, I was cold as hell and I was out the band. Like, nah, like, but I was decent, though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I was decent. I feel like I could have been in, like, probably like the 7th, 8th man off somebody bench or something. You feel me? Come
mm,
in, play some defense, score a couple buckets, sit my goof ass down. but, but it was like, my thing was, it was like, okay, when I was picking between music and basketball, it was like I knew for a fact I had to give one up and I had to focus strictly on that. You get what I'm saying? And it was like,
mm.
cool, yeah, I fuck with basketball. I'm a fan of basketball, but it was like it was the way not doing music had me feeling that really made me come down to the decision like, no, I can't give up this music. It's something
Yeah,
like this might be my calling type shit. Cause it was like not doing music had me feeling some type of
like
way.
you
Like I
couldn't
didn't
breathe
feel
right.
complete no more. It was like something that got took away from me. So I'm like, no, I gotta go down this music path. So
Yeah.
the fact that before you even turned 18 and like it seemed like you knew what your path was years ago. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And the fact that you have that, bro, and you already on top of your game, because it seemed like you know a lot of things that I had to learn on this path. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like you already then figured this out for yourself. Like you didn't figured out your sound, you didn't figured out your fan base, you figured out your team and the support system, what you need. Like it seemed like a lot of things you didn't already figured out that I had to figure out as far as bumping my head to figure out. So I love that for you, bro.
Thank
I definitely love that
you.
for you. You know
Thank
what
you
I'm
so
saying?
much.
For sure. So before we wrap up your interview, bro, I need you to do two things for me. The
Mhm.
first thing I need you to do is I need you to get all your social medias and your different platforms that you own and stuff like that so the people can tune in with you and they can follow your movement.
For sure. Y'all can go ahead and follow me on Instagram at I am the Javier Gooden. That's JAVIERGOODEN. Y'all can follow me on Facebook at the Javier Gooden. And also, we just brought it back because for some reason it was banned for a while, but we was able to get it back, and we're gonna start posting on there more. Y'all can follow me on TikTok at Javier Gooden. Just my name, Javier Gooden. So we're definitely gonna be back on there. We're gonna start working more on there. And when it comes to us, my music, no, I'm definitely out on all platforms, on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud. And definitely y'all need to make sure that y'all tap in with Sherm and get into crowded streaming. Definitely get into crowded streaming.
For sure, my boy, for sure. So the last thing I need you to do before we tap out and we get up out of here and stuff like that, every end of every episode that I do on Fusion Radio Uncut, I always ask the guest for some type of piece of advice. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So with you being an artist, it can either be a piece of advice that you feel like another artist should know, or it could just be a piece of advice that you feel like somebody should know in life in general. But I need at least one piece of advice before you get up out of here, my boy.
Piece of advice. I definitely say, hmm, because I want to give it from an artist standpoint, but just I feel like this one could definitely deal with any parts of life, whether artist or non-artist. I would definitely say don't allow people to hold you back because you feel like the path that they're on is the path that you should be on. Because I
Mm,
know sometimes you feel like, well, those are my friends, so they're always gonna, help me out. They're always gonna be there for me. But you realize that sometimes the path that they're on is not going towards where you need to be. Because when God's showing you this way, you're focused on your friends or the people that you're around at the moment, people that are not good for you, and you're trying to go that way. So definitely, I would say that don't allow people that you feel are for you to block you from the blessings of where you should be, and leading you towards the people that you actually should be around that want to help you and see you succeed.
mm. That was powerful. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was powerful. But what I will add to that though, it's not like you said something wrong. You didn't say nothing wrong. All I would add on to that is it's not so much that you can't be around them,
Mm-hmm.
it's that you yourself have to understand that you on a different path than them. Like that might them your friends, them like they might fuck with you, but you in a whole different lane than them. Like I had to learn that self like myself, like even with my people, like don't get me wrong, my people support me, my people fuck with me, but when it comes to certain times, I have to separate myself because I understand that these ain't artists. These is regular individuals. These people that
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say they don't have goals, but these not people that have goals like me. You get what I'm saying? So it's not that they don't fuck with me or they not locked in or we ain't really friends or nothing like that. It's just you have to understand when you trying to reach a certain type of goal and you on a certain type of path, you have to be around like-minded people that's on the same type of time you on. It's not like bro them don't fuck with you or them not your real friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they ain't on the path you on. So you gotta understand like for example, it might be times where you really need to sit down and work on some content or really need to sit down and work on a song, but your friends want you to go out with them or they want you to kick it with them and stuff like that. You got to understand as an artist and what type of path that you down. You got to understand like, man, yeah, they're my people and I rock with them and stuff like that, but I want to kick it with them, but I'm on something right now and I got to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I could kick it with bro and them later on. Like I got to stand on this business. So it's like you I ain't gonna lie, bro. You said a lot. You said a lot in that quote. I ain't gonna lie to you. That I like that
And to
quote. I like it.
not think that it's switching up, because sometimes when you on the path that you on and you realize that you're on a different path and that you're trying to elevate, and your friends or sometimes that the people you're around, you may never fall out with them. But the thing is, if they're in the same place and you're trying to elevate to go somewhere higher, you got to realize that that doesn't mean that you're switching up on them. It means that God has a higher calling for you. So you got to follow that.
Exactly. All right. Here I come. Yeah. So that's what's up, my boy. That's what's up. So we finna go ahead and get up out of here, man. This was a great episode. All the episodes that I didn't have before you was great too. But it's like I'm starting to notice that every episode is great in its own way because it's a different guest. Y'all bring different things to the table. Y'all bring different energies and stuff like that, different type of music. So it's like every interview is just great in its own way, bro. So I'm definitely, like I said in the beginning, I'm definitely grateful that your pops reached out, kept that relationship and stuff like that, reached out to me and got you on the pod. You know what I'm saying? And hey man, I hope you stay blessed. I hope you continue to do your thing in college. I hope you continue to do your thing in the music side. I hope you continue to push your project, other things that you out here doing, and just stay blessed, my boy. Just stay safe and continue to do your thing out there in New York. And whenever you slide back to the city, just hit the line. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't going.
Got you. Appreciate you so much for having me on here so much.
No problem, my boy. Be safe.
You soon, man.